Hi there and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We're looking at a Catal that we have talked, or sort of talked to in the last episode. And this is Blob of 3, consisting of 3 people through an accident because he looked for a helm of Prosper, if I remember right. And we are on his footsteps. He seeks some kind of a bard to integrate with him to make him perfect. That looks very odd to us. Maybe this is the bard? This seems like a portal here. We could interact with this guy. It looks like Atlas.
Yes.
Or what is that? This 5-meter long black slab of basalt, or perhaps obsidian, has been smoothed by age. A stone statue holds the slab at angle, lifting it to the sky, or is lowering it. It is impossible to determine whether the incline is real, or if you imagine it. At the top end, you can see a window into another reality, a portal wide enough to step through. On the other side is what looks like a harsh and angular world. You'll examine the slab first. It seems perfectly smooth. Some loving hand has polished it to a mirror gloss, though distortions beneath its surface change your appearance with every slight movement. As you lean in to examine it, your reflection appears unspeakably beautiful. A few centimeters closer, and it becomes a shrieking horror. Oh, this is perfection, mirror, right? Sounds like it. This close, you can feel a dense psychic weight around the obelisk, as if a culture's hopes and expectations had been packed into a single solid form. The thought of meeting these expectations and ascending the incline is daunting. We'll examine it again. Maybe we'll find something else. Nothing has changed. It remains black and smooth, distorting your reflection with your every slight movement. The statue. It is a grey statue of a robed man with an ornate warhammer strapped to his back, holding the obelisk aloft, or setting it down gently with his muscular arms. He exudes a fierce determination, as if he were using every quantum of energy in raising or lowering the great slab. A sign has been added to his back, a childish scroll that reads, "The Saint of Proverbs." You can hear something, a faint whisper of human thought. You can't make out what it's saying, but it feels like it's coming from the statue itself. We'll speak to it. Are you raising the slab or lowering it? Probably it's raising the niveau, right? The statue does not answer you. Perhaps it cannot answer you. We'll speak again. All right, examine the statue again. Grey statue straining to raise or lower the great slab. A sign on his back reads, "The Saint of Proverbs." Again, now we'll climb the slope to the portal. The slab is nearly frictionless, and you find it almost impossible to gain any sort of traction. But as you press your fingers into its surface, you can feel it melting slightly at your touch. You pull yourself upward, up on your belly, inch by inch, your fingers beginning to bleed. You have just reached the 3-meter mark. The glistening rock begins to shake. Oh. You release your grip and slide to the ground, all your progress lost in a moment. A voice cries out in mortal terror, and the men here crashes to the ground with a thunderous roar. A great plume of dust rises in the air. We've destroyed perfection. When the dust settles, the portal has vanished. You can barely make out the fingers of a hand protruding from beneath the rock, holding a scrap of grey fabric that almost looks like a mask. Oh, that mask. The fingers twitch once, twice, and are still. A trickle of dark fluid dribbles out in a thin stream. First, let's take the mask. Who knows? What is it? The face that never remembered. A face sculpted from a soft grey material gazes through and beyond you From ashen sockets, the mask affixes to your face with an almost lifelike eagerness. It is clammy, moist to the touch. Viewed through its lens, the world takes on a nightmarish aspect. Once mundane objects twist with strange new angles. Familiar faces, those of your most trusted friends and companions, contort in ways they never should. In the corners of your eyes, misshapen monstrosities lurch and stagger across impossible landscapes. The effects are subtle at first, but the longer you wear the mask, the more horrifying the visions. What enlightenment or madness awaits one with the courage to wear it for long enough? The Mask of Prosper is an unsettling relic said to have been created by a mad visionary in a forgotten age. His rumored goal was to create a lens through which one could gaze upon the 201,342 triangles that made up the true face of God. Perhaps his success is indicated by the sunken holes that may once have held eyes. And as you pick up the mask, its ashen gaze fixes on you. The grey fabric feels like flesh, a slab of wet meat. Draped across your fingers, a whisper caresses your mind. Prosper. You feel an unconscious revulsion, and then you turn away from the fallen slab. This must be the mask the repugnant blob sought. We'll examine the hand, though. It is grey, the colour of stone leached of life. It has no other distinguishing characteristics. Again, nothing. That's what the blob sought. Let's look at the tablet again. The slab lies on the ground. Oh, okay. You can barely make out a greyish bloodstain and an outstretched hand. All that remain of the poor figure beneath. The portal at the top has closed.
You bet.
That mask. Maybe we can help the blob.
Something I could do.
It would be interesting to find out what it does with this thing. You climbed obelisk, crushed St. Proverbius, though you knew he lived. No matter, the future is built on blood and range, and you fell. What did you learn from his experience? Huh. There was nothing special? No. Well, I saw the portal, but it vanished when the obelisk fell. Yes, and from this, we all understand that we cannot attain that height again. The portal exists only in our memories. All faces grimace in unison, as if trying for an unfamiliar smile. Here, you can have this mask I found. The blob reaches out with its deformed arms and accepts the mask from you. The three faces immediately start trying to control the creature's arms so that they can place the mask on one of the other faces, and they lose interest in you for the moment. You to me, no to me, wear it, talc sniffer. And now it's absorbed. You fell. What did you learn from this experience? Gravity is still strong here if you want to be literal about it. Creature pauses it constant movements. What? You climbed but didn't see? Kinds of falsity. Do you pedal? It waves a deformed hand at you. Bah. Expected better, but you do not think. You only do. Never will improvement come. Never. What are you again? You blatherskite, you simpleton, you drooling ignoramus, rolling in your own schist, calling it perfume. You think we don't know your game. We see what you're doing. What about the mask again? It is ours, ours. We will use it to see the true shape of things. Yeah, for sure. Well, okay, blob of 3. We're sorry, but we have to go now.
Go.
You've got your playthings, we'll get other playthings. There's someone dead here, right? Who's that? And who are these two people? Distracted, disturbed, this cultist mutters a reply to a question you did not hear. He barks a laugh to a quip, but was not told. Indeed, he seems only loosely aware of anyone else's presence. He brings a cleaver down just inches from the other's hand. Scanthal's perfect, beautiful, free in every word. World, will you watch what you're doing? You nearly severed my arm instead of his. The air around him becomes hazy as he smiles. Sorry? Didn't catch that. Too much going on. The two cultists break off their conversation as they notice you. The man, big, raw-boned, and unsettlingly unfocused, backs away from the corpse they've been hacking up and raises his butcher knife as if he's warding off evil. He points past you toward Calistique. Keep that crazy redhead away from me. We don't want anything to do with her. Scanthal's Oath kissed. I was hoping this reality would be the one I survived. That's right, Husk, says Calistique, laughing. I am your doom. Here, there, in every reality you can see. Don't forget it. So you and Calistique have met before. What did she do to you? Kolo sneers. Fought you all 3 times so far walking through here, and twice that redhead did for me, but I still put my knife in your neck in every stream, so I think twice before starting something. What do you mean, in every reality? And pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. She's like me. She can see into different realities. Calistique shakes her head in contempt. I'm like you, little man, please. Someday you might crawl from the mud and look up at the stars, and when you do, you'll see me laughing down. Good to know. Well, we'll leave you alone if you leave us alone. Calistique chuckles. And Kodo says, fine, just go and take her with you. Calistique chuckles as the two cultists warily turn back to the body and continue to hack it into portable chunks. Must be the children of the Endless Gate somehow. What will Nutley say? Just stay out of our way. So, we've left these children of the Endless Gate, probably, I don't know, to their own devices. We're in for more. Who is this?
If you're sure it's safe.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's unsafe here. There's a lot to interact with. But who is this? The man looks nice enough and seems unassuming at best, and this is the strangest feeling. It's almost as if he doesn't exist. As you try to focus on him, a sense of dread builds in you. You're not afraid exactly, but you know you aren't safe. You'll want my name. It's been a long since I spoke it. Let's see, how about you call me Fence? No, that's terrible. Hang on. Starts muttering, Phoenix. Yes, that's it. Phoenix. Call me Phoenix. Steps forward and puts a hand on your shoulder. You've come here. Perhaps you obey the call of the tombs and give me what I need. I tell you, I need answers. Someone gave me a note. It said to come here and I would find my answers. I would find the truth, but I can't understand this note. His eyes burn literally through, though his face seems untouched. What use is power if I cannot understand? What is the purpose of my power if I cannot see? Ask me. I don't know. Scanthal's, does she know? Of course not, but perhaps her questions can lead us both to knowledge. Oh, that's a secret of knowledge. Can I see the note? I might be able to shed some light on it. Slows ask me of wisdom, and I may grant it to you.
Making a note.
If you can show me that you know, then I will share my knowledge with you. So let us talk. You will ask me your questions, and with them you will share your insights. Tell me about yourself. Who are you? I have decided my name is Phoenix. He says the name as though tasting a new wine. He holds up his hand, and for a moment you can see light fading through it. I am a seeker. That one would say it? Yes, I am a seeker. It is wisdom. Wisdom I seek. He closes his eyes and starts laughing. All the things I've found. His eyes snap open. The structure of the world is not as you imagine. What you see and feel is nothing more than the varied interactions of fundamental forces that apply rules to subsequent large pieces. Those pieces become what we call matter, what we call meat, what we call reality. He reaches out to touch your shoulder, and his hand passes through you, and you feel nothing. He reaches out again, and this time his touch is cold. It is fire, it is acid and starshine, but you're undamaged. Enlightenment comes from within, he whispers, and he begins to cackle. Does it come from without? No. Both ways are necessary. Can't it come both from within and without? It can. His eyes gleam. Find answers within, let another show you the path. Both lead to surprising destinations, if you let them. Why don't you remember your name? Names are a construct of consciousness, but there is some fundamental importance to them. Or is there... or to consciousness itself? Scan thoughts. If so, is life also important if it has no consciousness? How would it know? Is there some fundamental importance to them? To the names? No. To consciousness itself? Probably yes. Isn't consciousness necessary to assign importance or other values? Let's nitpick. I think he loves nitpick. If so, is life also important if it has no consciousnesses? How would it know? Yeah, isn't consciousness necessary to assign importance or other values? He bows his head. A fair counter. From what I've seen, life continues in many places, in many worlds, and consciousness has mediated itself out of existence in some species. I cannot say if it is importance, he smiles. I cannot say. Perhaps we might. Are you from this world? Felix pauses, frowning. It is familiar to me, the lines, the curves, the structures, but it is like a poor sketch of the world I remember. I see its textures, its strokes, and I see the medium on which it is drawn, but I can lift the sketch and see the truth beneath it. I do not know my origins. Oh, that's interesting. So is he a cast-off as well? What are you doing here? I seek. I was given a note, a strange note, a note that told me to come here, and that I would find the answers I need. Something about impulses, an almost subsonic beat, and you stagger slightly. Anger creases his brow. I hold it and I study it, I read it, yet I do not understand it. He points a finger that cycles through the colors of the rainbow. So how do I learn it? Have you studied it in different spectra? I had not considered that. He pulls a scrap of engraved synth from his pocket, and you see a rainbow of light flash across his eyes. But no, it is no use. Nothing changes. Have you had trouble from the cultists here? He smiles. Trouble? Not for me. They have come for me many times. They do not leave. The fact that he stands in the middle of the valley, alone and safe, supports his story. Can I now see the note that brought you
I'll
here?
remember that.
You have the mind of a seeker, not merely an explorer. Yes, you may take the note. He passes you a piece of engraved synth. Return if you are able to find my answer. This ragged synth square is engraved with scrolls and symbols, presumably some kind of writing, but it is mostly unfamiliar to you. Phoenix says the note told him to come to the Valley of Dead Heroes, and that he would find the answers he needs. He gave it to you because he has found no answers, but he has not so far. He hopes you will find them in his place. Although the engraved symbols are mostly incomprehensible, 4 numbers are written in the truth. One on each line of text. 1, 5, 3, and 5. That's strange. Could we use the alphabet? E, C, E? That does make no sense. Okay. 1, 5, 3, 5. Valley of Dead Heroes? No. One on each line of text. We'll have to think about this. There could be a mathematical explanation, but there could also be not one. It could be like 1, 5, 3, 5, 9, 7 or something. Well, you don't know. Thank you for watching. And happy gaming to you. We'll explore further in the next episode. Maybe we'll find the meaning of this strange, strange note. Probably it has something to do with this machine, or this ridge, or this portal. A good time until then, and happy gaming.